Earth 96 is a world of adventure with a lot of interesting places. One of those places is Idle City, ruled over by a council of 48, and it is where our story begins. Ryuga Momose, a local hero, is heading towards the Blue Iris Inn, a popular meeting place for adventurers. He has just received a task from 3 mysterious sages who call themselves the Mysterious Sages of Honor, also known as MSH. Ryuga has no idea why MSH chose him to carry out the task, but he believes that the Council of 48 and their legions haven't done a good job of protecting Idle City, which is why he has decided to become a hero himself. MSH has warned him of an upcoming attack on this land at the hands of a villain known as Omega Orionis, and in order to stop them, he has to find something known as the Miracle Shard and climb to the top of Mount Pandora and stab the shard into the top of the mountain. Only then can Omega Orionis be stopped. However, Ryuga can't do this mission alone, and so he heads toward the Blue Iris Inn, hoping that he can find other adventurers to help him on his quest. Meanwhile, inside the Blue Iris Inn, someone else is sitting by the bar. His name is KN, and he's drinking melon soda from a golden goblet he brings with him everywhere. Life in Idle City has been boring for KN, and he's been looking for something exciting to do. Little does he know, that's about to happen. Elsewhere in the inn, Rei Shirasaka sits in a dark corner. Everyone else in the inn is drinking or enjoying the atmosphere, but all of Rei's focus is on the mysterious book she's reading. It is a book of forbidden knowledge, and Rei doesn't let anyone else see its contents. In another part of the inn, Mayu Sakuragi, who carries a big sword behind her, looks around from her seat. She wishes to someday join the ranks of the First Legion and eventually become their leader. For now, though, she's just a cadet, and her mission is just to issue warnings to anyone caught littering. At this moment, Ryuga Momose walks into the tavern, and from this moment on, whatever happens next is at the mercy of the dice. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there is a location-specific event, but I have an idea on what happens. The Blue Iris Inn is a place for adventurers, but not all of them are good. Ryuga takes his time and orders a drink, and he probably sits next to KN as well. After all, he needs to get refreshed before he can find companions for his quest. And that's when a group of bandits enter the room. The bandits enter the bar, ready to rob the place. This is a regular occurrence here in this part of Idle City, and it's one of the reasons why Ryuga doesn't believe in the Council of 48. At the same time, the robbery gets the attention of Mayu Sakuragi. She wants to join the fight, but can't because of protocol. So now it's up to Ryuga to deal with the bandits on his own. As the bartender is being held at knife point, Ryuga steps up and tells the bandits to stop. But let's see, are the bandits open to negotiation? Well, according to the roll I got, yes. Ryuga asked the bandits what they want, and now let's go to another table to see their reason for attacking the Blue Iris Inn. And based on the roll, the bandit leader tells Ryuga that they're only attacking the inn because they need food and money to survive. Ryuga tries to convince the bandits that they should not attack the inn, and that there are way better targets to go after. But does this convince the bandits? I'm gonna have Ryuga make a persuasion check with a DC of 12. Unfortunately, I rolled a 6, so the bandits are not convinced. They are very desperate, and Ryuga's message doesn't get through to them. They draw out their knives, ready to attack. But Ryuga shows off his belt, which isn't just a belt. The belt buckle is a transformation device, and inside is a red medallion. Ryuga detaches the belt buckle and points it forward, before calling out, "Henshin!" Ryuga now stands before the bandits wearing a red and white suit with gold accents. A red helmet covers his face. "Just who are you?" one of the bandits asks. "I'm just a local hero," Ryuga answers back. Alright, it's now time for combat. It's almost the same as D&D 5th edition combat. After rolling initiative, Ryuga goes first, all the bandits go on the same initiative, and it's time to begin. Ryuga charges at the first bandit and hits him with a punch to the face. The attack hits, and Ryuga knocks out the first bandit with a strike. The other bandits now know what they're dealing with, and they get out their knives and try to attack Ryuga. The first knife attack stabs Ryuga, but he gets back up and blocks the second one from hitting him. The fight also seems to have gotten the attention of KN, who is about to take another drink from his goblet when he hears the fight and turns around to watch it happen. Rei also happens to be interested in the fight and closes her book to see what's going on. Ryuga decides to go after the bandit who stabbed him, and so he swings at him with an uppercut. The uppercut sends the bandit back a few steps, but he's still conscious. The two bandits then get out their knives and attack Ryuga again. The bandit stabbed Ryuga, and it looks like he's not able to continue. That's when suddenly, KN, disappointed from how anticlimactic this fight was, decides that he wants a piece of the action. The bandits have no idea who this guy is who just joined the fight, but they're confident they can take on KN. KN takes one last drink of melon soda before tossing the goblet in the air. He then shouts out "Henshin" and transforms into a masked warrior similar to Ryuga, but with a different aesthetic. We never get to see the transformation process though, because the camera is tilted upward following the goblet. Once the goblet falls back down, KN catches it, but he is already transformed. KN will go before the bandits in this round. He has an ability called Drunken Fist, where if he drank melon soda 1 hour before combat, he has advantage on all dexterity saving throws, and enemies have disadvantage when making an attack roll against him. KN fires a shot from his hand crossbow. The shot hits the bandit in the leg, taking him out of action. And now, there's only one bandit left. That bandit lunges at KN and tries to stab him with his knife, but KN moves in an unpredictable way and he dodges the attack of the bandit. He then responds with a kick to the face. The bandit gets hit in the face and he's badly wounded, but he's still moving. The bandit decides that this fight is not worth it, and so he wakes up his two companions and they make their retreat. After the fight, Mayu heals Ryuga back to full health. She has no idea why he recklessly fought all the bandits by himself, but KN is impressed by Ryuga. The two of them introduce themselves to him and then he does the same thing. Ryuga then remembers why he came to the Blue Iris Inn and tells Mayu and KN about his quest. He tells them about the quest he was given to find the miracle shard and bring it to Mount Pandora, and asks if they would like to join him. KN accepts because he wants to do something fun, and Mayu accepts because she sees this as an opportunity to prove herself to the First Legion. But before they can continue, Rei suddenly approaches and asks if she can also join. Ryuga says sure, but asks what she can bring to the table. Rei shows off her book of forbidden knowledge, and Mayu asks if she can see it, but Rei is not letting anyone else read the book. Ryuga decides to let her in the party because there aren't any others in the inn who look like adventurers. Mayu doesn't think that the addition of Rei is a good idea, but the rest don't mind. After leaving the Blue Iris Inn, we need to know what happens to the party, and so I'm gonna roll for a scene prompt. And based on the roll of the dice, the adventurers are about to head into a fight, but I don't know who it is they're about to fight, so let's see who they are. And from the roll, it looks like they're about to fight a local person who is preparing a place and wants to control a debt. The group suddenly runs into a guy wearing a suit with a tiger pattern, being accompanied by 4 others in suits. KN seems to know this person. His name is Tyler Crane, and he is an enforcer who works for an interdimensional crime syndicate that KN owes money to. Accompanying him are 4 hired muscles whose job is to beat up KN and send him a warning. But Ryuga stands in the way of the 4 guys and transforms into his ranger form. KN also henshins, and then Mayu transforms too, and what she does is call out "idolize" and spins around until her armor forms around her. Rei does not transform, but instead she extends one of her hands out. A dark longsword appears in that hand. Mayu is the first one to attack, and the first thing she does is charge at one of the guys and she attacks them with her claymore. The claymore deals a lot of damage to the guy, leaving a large cut. He decides to attack Mayu in retaliation along with his friend. The first guy manages to hit Mayu with his club, but Mayu blocks the second guy's attack with her armor. The other 2 guys go after KN and Ryuga. One of them tries to attack KN with his club, while the other one shoots at Ryuga with a heavy crossbow. The crossbow bolt pierces through Ryuga's armor, while KN is able to dodge the club attack from the guy targeting him. KN tries to fight the guy off with a punch to the face. The attack hits, and the guy has a bruise on his face. Rei decides to finish the job. She gets out her dark longsword and slashes the guy down. The dark longsword slashes through the guy, finishing him off. Ryuga, meanwhile, is hurt from the crossbow bolt, moves near where Mayu is standing and gets out his club. He then attacks the first guy who's fighting Mayu, and it's a critical hit. Ryuga swings his club so hard he knocks out the guy and sends him flying into a street lamp. Mayu thanks Ryuga for helping her and holds out her hand, healing some of his HP. After that, Mayu takes her claymore and swings it at the second guy who attacked her. As she swings her claymore, the guy is quick enough to dodge the attack, and then he responds by hitting Mayu with his club. Mayu also dodges the club with her agility. The guy who shot Ryuga with a crossbow suddenly changes direction and focuses on Rei and her dark longsword, seeing her as a threat. He fires the crossbow. The bolt goes at Rei, but she cuts it in half with the dark longsword. Keian decides to return the favor to Rei by shooting a bolt from his own crossbow at the guy attacking her. The crossbow bolt strikes the guy in the side of his chest, but then Rei points her other hand, the one not holding the dark longsword, at him, and shoots a blast of energy. The blast of energy hits the guy and sends him flying into a wall. He then drops his heavy crossbow and collapses on the ground. Ryuga Momose, now with most of his hit points back, gets his club and prepares to take out the last enemy standing. Thanks to Ryuga's sneak attack ability, he was able to deal more damage than usual because Mayu was standing next to him. This guy is almost defeated, and it's up to Mayu to finish the battle. She gets out her claymore and swings it at the guy. With her claymore, Mayu takes down the guy in one single slash. All 4 of Tyler Crane's enforcers have been defeated. With nothing left to do, Tyler Crane runs away, but not before swearing that he will come back to deliver vengeance. This adventure has had a rocky start, but Ryuga was able to find 3 others to accompany him on his adventure. Now all he has to do is find the location of the Miracle Shard. What awaits the party as they look for a lead? We shall find out together next time, in the next episode of Dungeons Kuroninja.